Okay, friends, today's reading is on diversity. Diversity is seen as a positive uh, thing in recovery, and that we have diversity, which makes us stronger. Not everybody should be or can be the same, and so we have the collective that comes together, and that's what makes us stronger. But so diversity. Unity is not uniformity. Unity is having diversity coming together for a common purpose. We are enriched by the diversity that we can see things from a different point of view. With new perspectives, we can see things with new eyes. If nothing else, it makes life richer and more interesting to see how others see the world. With our common welfare and group purpose, differences fall to the wayside. Um, Age, race, social status, sex, sexual orientation, none of these things matter when we all have the same disease. Tongue-tied today, I apologize for that. This is not to say that everyone does not see differences and that there's no prejudice in the rooms. Anytime you have a group of people coming together, you're going to have some that do not see things the same and have challenges out of fear and past conditioning. But for the most part, and especially when someone is in need, we come together no matter where we come from. And some end up appreciating those they may have hated at one time. So I certainly have experienced that. Getting to know people and understanding where they're coming from and enjoying the differences. Um, when I first got into the rooms, all I saw was the differences. I was much younger back then, and it seemed like everybody was older, different cultures, and things like that, and they were doing different kind of drugs. And so I was looking at all the differences. It wasn't until I started looking at the similarities that things started to make sense for me. Here's a nice reading from the Vishnu Purana. Remember, the stories are how we learn about things, and this is one about diversity and coming together for a common cause. In the Vishnu Purana, the asuras, or demons, and devas, the gods, who were typically at war with each other, came together under Vishnu's command to churn the ocean of consciousness for the common goal to bring up Lakshmi, who went in the ocean. That's another story for a different time. And to bring up the Amrit, which was said to make one immortal. The Asuras were doing it for selfish reasons. They wanted the Amrit. The Devas wanted to bring Lakshmi because she is the love and abundance for all. There is lots of hidden lessons in the story, and this is a perfect one for addiction and recovery. But for now, we can see that the Asuras and Devas typically were warring, but they dropped their differences for a common goal. Of course, their motivations were different. When we do service in recovery, often our motivations are for different reasons. Sometimes it is our ego, and like the Asuras, what can I get out of this? Sometimes it's pure intentions for the greater good. Either way, we come together and get the work done. Thought for today, I honor diversity and willing to work with people different than me to carry the message of recovery. And so Asuras were looking for their own good, for their self-centered reasons, and that's why they're doing it. And the Devas wanted to have Lakshmi, so the goodness will come back. Part of the story was when she left, everything started going bad. The world was kind of gray. People stopped doing yajna or sacrifices, and there was no singing or dancing or art being made. Flowers started to die, and people were in despair. And so they wanted to turn that around. But they couldn't do it alone. They needed to have the Asuras on the other side of the ocean to churn the lake to allow things that come bubbling up. And there's a lot of different things that came bubbling up. One was a cow that gave riches all the time, and then the Amrit came up with the father of Ayurveda, and then Lakshmi came up. And so another part of the story where we see where our addiction, our ego plays a part. The Asuras, wanted that Amrit. So to distract them, Vishnu became this beautiful woman, and their sex drive or their disease kicked in over the lust, and so they forgot what their purpose was, and so they went chasing after her. And at that time, then the Deves all drank the Amrit, and so they had immortality, and the Asuras were left out. And so just a lot of different stories in that one story that are really good. And then, Lakshmi is the goddess of generosity. She's also the goddess of abundance. But she went into the ocean because there was no gratitude. And so it shows us we have to have gratitude for what we have. And so, do we have gratitude today so we can get more? If we have no gratitude, then what we have, even what we have, will be taken. I think that's a line from the Bible too. Those who have will have more. Those who have less even that will be taken. And that's what it's saying. If you don't have gratitude for your recovery, if you don't have gratitude for the things that you do have, you can't expect to have any more. And so that's our story for today. And look forward today maybe the diversity that you can find in the rooms, diversity you can find in your life, and try to learn from somebody you don't know, somebody you wouldn't normally talk to, somebody you wouldn't normally like at all. Maybe you can go and see if you can get to know them and maybe gain a new perspective. Anyway, that's all for today. I'm going to do a Ayurveda thing and things like that soon. Maybe some more of the Bhagavad Gita or something. Stay tuned. Have a good day.